The first bread that I'm going to show you how to make is the easiest one, and it's a no-knead rustic style bread. So you're going to start with 3 cups of all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon of active dry yeast, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Just whisk it together. You're going to add in 400 milliliters of warm water. And then you're going to mix it until it starts to come together. So when you're bringing this dough together, it doesn't have to be a perfect ball. It can be a shaggy dough. You want to make sure all the flour has been incorporated. Once everything comes together, you're going to let this proof at room temperature, covered in plastic wrap, until it's about tripled in size, so about overnight. Alright, so this has been proofing overnight, and what we're going to do is take it out of the bowl onto a work surface, and we're not going to knead it, we're just going to shape it. Forgot to do this, but make sure you add some flour onto your board, that way it won't stick. And I'll just put some flour on top of the dough, and we're just going to shape it into a ball. We're just going to move it over to some parchment paper. And then I had a Dutch oven, cast iron Dutch oven, preheating in the oven for 30 minutes. So we're just going to place the dough. And then we're going to cover it up and bake it covered for about half an hour. So this has been cooking covered for about half an hour. So now I'm going to uncover it and cook it for about another 10 to 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes, this is what the bread looks like. And before we cut into it, I'm just going to let it cool for about 10-20 minutes. The next bread I'm going to show you how to make is more of a classic white sandwich loaf bread. And for this dough, it's a little more complicated. First, what you'll need to do is create a yeast mixture. So you're going to start with 3/4 of a cup water, and then you're going to add in half a cup of whole milk, and then you're going to heat it up to about 90 degrees. So you want your milk and water mixture to read at about 97, 98 degrees Fahrenheit. So once you have the temperature right, add in 9 grams of yeast. And then just whisk it up. So you're going to set this aside and then get the rest of your dry ingredients together. So for your dry ingredients, you're going to need 3 cups of bread flour, and to that you're going to add in 1 tablespoon of sugar and 1.5 teaspoons of fine sea salt. And just whisk it up. Once your yeast mixture was nice and bubbly, we're going to add it into the dry ingredients. And then we're just going to start mixing until a smooth dough ball forms. Alright, I just took everything out of the bowl and just placed it on a work surface, and still have a ways to go until we get it to a smoother consistency. Alright, so the dough is starting to come together. It's nice and smooth now. So now what I'm going to do is add in 1 tablespoon at a time of softened butter. And once it's worked in, add in another tablespoon until I put in all 3. So everything is nice and incorporated now. So now smooth this out more and shape it into a ball. Alright, so you're gonna just drop this into a greased bowl. Just gonna wrap it in greased plastic wrap. And you're just gonna let this rise until almost doubled, which should be about 1.5 hours. All right, so it's been an hour and a half and it's doubled in size, and you're gonna punch it down. And add it to a work surface. And you're gonna flour your dough, both sides. And then you're gonna roll it out into a rectangle. So what you want to do is roll it up into a tube. Take a loaf pan that's been greased with butter and just place your dough in the pan, and then you're going to cover this with either a damp kitchen towel or just an inverted loaf pan, and let this proof for about 45 minutes. And while it's proofing, you can start preheating your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay. So this is going to go into a 350 degree oven for 30 minutes. So I just took the loaf out of the oven. It smells amazing. So I'm going to take it out of the pan and move it to an iron rack. Beautiful.